This is JC with Beyond 20, and today we're going to look at the differences between Cherwell and ServiceNow with regard to licensing. We're going to talk about the differences here, kind of show you where to look for them. I'm not going to go too in depth, but just kind of to give you an idea of how it works. So in Cherwell, if we go into our security, just clicking security over here, and then if we click on licensing, that is how we're going to get there. Now, I'm not going to show you our licensing. I do have a screenshot of it blocked out. And so in it, you can see what you have access to, how many licenses, the company name, your license code, those kind of things, and when your drop dead date is. So this is going to be when you won't be able to access your client anymore if you don't upgrade or update your licenses. Now, if you are an on-premise user, you will have to have yourself or the provider that you work with enter in your license code here. If you are having Cherwell hosted, I don't believe you'll need to do this at all. So what happens in Cherwell with licenses? Cherwell uses a concurrent license management scheme. So what this means is that individuals take from a pool of licenses once they log in. And so once again, we see we've got 15 licenses. So these aren't 15 named accounts. It's 15 total licenses. Now you can name some specific accounts so that it will hold that license for them no matter what, but you don't have to. Once you've hit that 15 limit in this example, then users will not be able to log in until someone else has logged off. And that's how Cherwell works. So pretty nice to use in my opinion. But let's take a look at ServiceNow. So ServiceNow is going to be different in how it uses things. I'm going to show you where to go. Unfortunately, you won't see a ton on mine because I'm in a dev system. If you go to under subscription management, your subscription overview in ServiceNow, you will be able to see your subscription status and your subscriptions that you have. And what this is basically your licenses. It'll show you which modules that you've purchased, such as ITSM or ITBM or CSM, those items, and as well as the number of licenses you have. It will also show you the number of tables, custom tables that you can create with those as well. So there is some that you do have to do some editing in to get this to fully work, but by default, it should show you that information. Like I said, it doesn't show that information necessarily on a dev system. The ServiceNow support can do some additional reports for you if you send them to your account representative. There's a list of reports that you can send them, and then they compile it down to get the exact numbers for you. So with ServiceNow, they are named accounts. So anyone you have in that in your user table that has a role associated with them, and there's two types of roles. There's some of the roles that aren't license based, and then there's some that are the fulfiller licenses that are license based. Things like the ITIL role. But if you just have like a portal role, for instance, that's not gonna necessarily take a license. And so, being a named license, it's a lot more. You have to be a lot more careful with how you do them because ServiceNow won't tell you right away that you've gone over your licenses. They'll continue to allow you to use them. However, after a certain amount of time, they will charge you back for those licenses used. So in ServiceNow, it's very important to stay on top of the amount of licenses that you have and the amount that you're using. It is also very important in Cherwell. Cherwell makes it a little easier by using that concurrent model, in my opinion, just because you're never going to wonder if you're going over because you'll know if you're going over if people can't log in, right? It's always a good idea to just keep in mind those numbers of basically looking at who's logging in and what is the total number of licenses. You can create thresholds, um, especially in ServiceNow. You can create reports that have thresholds of like who has not logged in the last 90 days. If they haven't logged in the last 90 days, maybe it's a good idea to remove them from your list so that they are no longer using a license. There's a lot more on licensing and how, especially the ServiceNow side, the subscription management process works. If you have more questions, your account rep can answer them. I may throw a video together at a later time as well, going more in depth into subscription management. But now you've got an overview of how Cherwell handles licenses and ServiceNow. Thanks and have a great day.